Thanks so much for going through with the divorce with Ben, Vanessa. From now on, you can leave him to me. I'll take good care of him for you. And Haley as well, of course. They both chose me instead of you, so I'll make sure to keep them happy in your stead.
Sure, you're very welcome to that, Sally. The divorce has been settled, and I got everything that I was supposed to get, so that's all done and out of the way now. You three can all have a good future together.
Of course we will. Unlike you, I'm not the kind of woman to get her man stolen from under her very nose.
Oh, really? Well, that's great for you then, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, I'm far more beautiful compared to you anyway. Ben is basically obsessed with me. He only has eyes for me now. I'm not going to do something stupid to lose my husband like you did.
I don't care about someone like him. He is a cheater and a liar. I don't need a man like him in my life. But I am actually worried about Haley, so please do take care of her. She's been fine recently, but she's always been sick and frail ever since she was little.
Yeah, I know all about that. But don't worry, we'll get along well and I will look after her.
That'd be good if it goes so well. But now that a lot is changing in her life, you never know when she might get sick again. So really make sure that you do take care of her properly.
I told you that I know about all of it already. And though I don't work anymore, I did used to be a professional nurse, so I'm more than able to take care of her when she needs something. So you can stop telling me to do the obvious. I'm capable of looking after her when the time comes. More so than you ever were. You were disposed of by both your husband and your daughter. I don't need to be told anything by you.
I guess you're right. I really was abandoned by the two of them. Even putting Ben to the side, I was surprised that even Haley chose to go with the two of you over me.
You really are pathetic, aren't you? You threw away your career to stay at home and look after and care for her when she was sick for so many years. But even that wasn't enough to stop her from throwing you away at the first chance she got. Really, I wonder what the point of your life has even been up until now.
That's not something you need to worry yourself over. Anyway, like I said, the divorce is done with, and I moved all of my stuff out of the house too. Everything is with you now, so do what you like.
That's right. I'll be moving in as soon as I can and then starting my new life with my new family.
I just came back from college and all of your stuff is gone. Were you really serious about moving out after all? Yeah, of course I was. But are you really sure you're fine with not coming with me? If you're worried about the college fees, you don't have to. It won't be a problem. What? Do you really think that was why I decided to stay with Dad and Sally? Who in their right mind would go and live with a useless woman like you? It's your fault that I was born with this weak body and have had to struggle so much. Now that you've gotten the divorce, I don't ever want to see you again in my life. What? I'm a useless woman, you say? Yeah, you couldn't even give birth to me with a healthy body. I always got sick and had to go to the hospital so much as a kid. Then I always had to miss out on school and being with my friends. Because of you, my entire childhood was ruined, and it'll still affect me for the rest of my life. Of course, you're nothing more to me than the useless woman who gave birth to me. Quit messing around. Do you even know how much I worried about you every time you got sick and had those fevers? I would always stay with you while you slept and looked after you as much as you needed. And now you're gonna say these horrible things to me? Shut up! Because of you, I didn't get to have a normal high school life. And I also missed out on my first choice for college as well. Everything is your fault. All my health problems are your fault. What are you even talking about? I supported you for your exams however I could. I even hired you a private tutor to help you get extra support and taught you myself when I could as well. But you were the one who always made up some excuse and shied away from your studies. What? That didn't happen. Don't try and pass the blame on to me. It happened all the time. You would say that you were feeling drowsy from the medicine you had and spend most of the day just lazing around or napping. Or you'd study for just an hour, then say you were feeling sick and running off to do something else. It might be harsh, but it's your own fault that you missed out on your first choice school. You can't just use your health issues as an excuse forever, you know. You need to be able to overcome these challenges and not use them for your convenience. Shut up! I don't want to hear any of that from you. It's all your fault in the end. None of this would have been an issue if I was born a healthy kid. Could have studied hard and gotten into my school of choice as well. There would have been no problems for me at all. You had no right to blame me or say anything to me at all. Haley, you don't even know what you're saying right now. Yes, I do. I'm telling you that I never want to see you again. Just seeing your face makes me feel sick.
Hello, Vanessa. It's really been quite a while, hasn't it? I hope you've been doing well since we last spoke.
Yeah, I've been doing better than ever. Thanks to you, I was able to distance myself from my cheating husband and my selfish daughter. Each day has been better than the last.
Oh, well, if you can be that sarcastic and snarky, then you must be doing all right. Good for you. If that's the case, then it looks like the transplant will be able to work well, too.
Transplant? What are you talking about? You text me after 5 years of nothing and start with something that makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, the reason I'm texting you is because there's something very important that I need to tell you. It's very important for you as well, I mean. It's about your daughter, Haley. Actually, just yesterday, she was in the hospital doing some tests because her health wasn't so good. And it turns out that she had kidney disease.
What? You mean her kidneys are failing?
Yeah, she graduated college and then got a job and everything was working out so well for her. But she was feeling unwell and went in for a checkup and they found that she had serious issues with her kidneys. Unfortunately, it's already progressed to a pretty severe stage as well, and it looks like a transplant is really the only way to deal with this.
What? I don't believe it. I thought that she'd been getting better and better, and now all of a sudden she'd been diagnosed with something that serious?
It really is sad, isn't it? The poor girl. She was working fine and had no issues before now. But now she has to go on dialysis and can't even go to work because she has to stay in the hospital.
I see. My grandparents also had to go on dialysis before, so I know that it can be really tough. It's not an easy form of treatment at all.
Not only that, but Haley even has a guy that she's seeing who she probably would end up marrying soon enough. That's the way the relationship seems to be going. And he's even the son of a really successful businessman. But now, because of this whole kidney thing, she might even lose her chance at having a happy marriage.
Just calm down a second, please, Sally. I know that kidney disease can be a very serious thing, but since you are a nurse, you should understand, right? With dialysis and medication, people can still live long lives with the condition. It's not a death sentence by any means. And why would she lose her boyfriend because of this?
There's no way that things would go all that smoothly. Why would he want to get married to someone who has to spend half the week in the hospital on dialysis? That's not the right kind of woman for a guy who'll be the CEO of a successful business once his dad passes it on to him. I'm sure the relationship will be done the moment he finds out about it.
What? I don't think that's very realistic of you. And if he really is the kind of person to do that, then maybe she shouldn't end up with him in the first place.
Don't be ridiculous. If she marries him, then the rest of her life will be easy and financially stable. She can't pass up a chance like this.
But even if this wasn't happening now, there's always the chance that she'll get sick later on after they marry anyway. Her health issues aren't something that can be kept a secret forever.
No one is asking for your opinion on her relationship, okay? She needs a transplant so that she can live a normal life without having to be in and out of the hospital all the time. And then she definitely won't have to worry about her man leaving her over this. And that's exactly what I'm messaging you about today. You'll donate one of your kidneys for her, won't you?
What? I have to be the donor.
The doctor said that I'd also be able to be the donor, but I don't want to be parting with an important organ like that. I'm too scared. I just can't do it. But I thought that it would also make more sense for her biological mother to give it to her anyway.
What? Why would that make more sense?
They say that kidney disease can be passed down genetically, so it's partially your fault that she has it. So you need to take responsibility for it and make it right like this. And since she is your daughter, then you shouldn't have any qualms about it either.
I don't want to do anything like that. Besides, she's not my daughter anyway. You just said that the doctor said that you could also be the donor, so you need to take responsibility since you're now her mother and do it instead.
I told you already that I don't want to do that. She's not my real daughter anyway. Ben just brought her into our relationship. Why should I have to be a donor for a kid who isn't even mine?
But when you were getting married to Ben and I was leaving, you told me that you'd become her mother and make sure to look after her, didn't you?
And that's why I'm looking for a donor for her so we don't have to be on an endless waiting list. This is my way of helping her as her stepmom. It's fine, so you just need to accept this and not complain about everything so much. I can go ahead and tell the doctors that I found a donor, right?
No, you absolutely cannot say that. Don't get me involved in this at all. It has nothing to do with me.
What? How can you say that? You are Haley's mother.
No, I'm not. You are.
Oh, shut up with that already. If you don't help her out and become a donor, then her entire future is going to go up in flames. She's going to lose her chance to marry this guy, and then she'll have a hard life being in and out of the hospital on dialysis as well. Are you saying that you're okay with being the reason that she'll have to live such a miserable life day to day?
Of course I don't want her to have to go through anything like that. But actually, what is Haley saying about all of this? When I was getting the divorce, she was pretty anti-me and told me to never show my face in front of her again. But now she'd accept a kidney from me after 5 years of no contact?
Of course she would. She said that she was waiting for you to hurry up and do it already. It's one way that you could actually be useful to her. Remember that it's mainly your fault that she's in this situation in the first place, so you need to do something about it.
What?
Oh, and by the way, once you do donate your kidney, make sure to not say anything to anyone else about it, especially to Ben. We plan on acting like I was the one who gave it to her. That way, we can continue living as a happy family, all three of us together. And then she can get married and move on with her life as well.
So, you just want to get all the benefits without any of the drawbacks. You won't sacrifice a single thing for your daughter.
Why should I when you are around to do it? And it'll be easier to explain to other people that way as well. I am her mother, so no one is going to doubt that I was the one who gave her a kidney. So make sure to come by to the hospital so they can check how compatible you two are. You might have been abandoned by her and Ben in quite a pathetic way, but it doesn't change the fact that you are still her real mom and not me. Anything should be okay for your daughter, right?
If that's the case, then why not go and ask her biological mom?
Wait, what?
I mean, if a mother should do anything for her own daughter, then you should go and tell that to Haley's biological mom. Although she didn't get abandoned by Ben and Haley, but left on her own.
Seriously? Hold on a second. What are you on about right now? What do you mean I should ask her biological mother? That's you, isn't it?
No. I raised her from a young enough age, but I didn't give birth to her. She isn't my actual daughter, and I'm not her biological mother. So, if you're looking for a donor, you should really go and try to find her instead of me. I don't have her contact or anything, but if you ask Ben, he might be able to find her number for you.
Hold on. I don't understand. What's going on right now? If you just raised her, do you mean that she's from Ben's previous marriage? You mean that he was married 2 times before me?
Well, it seems like he still didn't say anything to you or to Haley about any of this. He said that he was going to tell her everything once she turned 21, but I guess not. He probably decided that it was too much of a pain, and since he was now the only one who knew, why bother saying anything?
Then tell me properly what's going on right now. Just who is Haley's mom then?
Like you said, she's Ben's first wife. She got really depressed right after she gave birth to Haley, and I heard that they divorced almost straight after because of it.
Really? because of that.
Something like that, yeah. You can ask Ben if you want the details, though. Then I met Ben myself and we ended up getting married. By that point, Haley was around 5 years old or so, I guess. But it was when she was really young that she had the most issues with her health. She was always in the hospital or at home resting in bed. She doesn't have that many memories of that time and can't remember anything about her real mom anyway.
So that's why she didn't know anything about this. She has thought that you were her real mom all along.
Yeah, that's more or less right, I guess. I wanted to tell her the whole story earlier myself, but Ben was really against it. He kept saying that we should wait until she was in better health so that she wasn't too shocked by the news. But every time it was the same excuse, and in the end we never ended up telling her anything.
Oh my god, I don't believe this!
Maybe you can tell all of this to Haley for me then. Tell her sorry, but I guess I'm going to be useless to her again. I'm not going to hand over my kidney to her for this. And then the two of you should try and find where her real mom is and ask her to be the donor instead. That would be the best thing to do, in my opinion.
Mom, is this really true?
Is what Dad said the truth? You're not actually my real mom? That's right, we're not actually related at all. I just raised you as a child as your stepmom. So, even though we weren't related, you still spent all that time looking after me and caring for me when I was sick? Of course I did. We might not have been related by blood, but you were still my daughter. At least that's how I thought of you. I wanted to do all I could to make sure that you could live as good a life as possible despite your health problems. I gave up my career to stay at home and be there with you whenever you needed me. I sacrificed everything and lived my life just for you.
I can't believe this. You did all that for me?
And it seemed like my hard work was paying off too. By the time you were in middle school, you weren't having to go to the doctors anywhere near as often as you used to when you were little. And you were able to go to school as normal, and I was really happy about it. But you blamed me for being behind in your studies and missing out on things that other kids were able to do. You threw things at me and even tried to attack me once or twice. They say that kids never understand their parents and what they do for them, but I have never felt so empty as I did in those moments.
Hold on. Those moments were just that I was so overwhelmed.
Okay, sure, whatever you say. Anyway, good luck with all the kidney things. I hope you find a donor in the end. Since you heard about this from Ben already, I'm guessing that you were able to find your real mom's number from him too. Even though the two of you are mother and daughter, it doesn't always mean that transplants will be a success. Let's hope it all goes well in that department.
Hold on a minute, Mom.
Please don't just cut this conversation short here. There's more that I need to tell you, so just hear me out, okay? What is it? What do you need to tell me now? You see, it's about my biological mom. I was able to get her number from Dad, and I got in contact with her like you said. But the thing is, when I told her my situation, she turned me down immediately. She didn't want to help me at all. Oh, really? That's a shame, isn't it? She said that it's been almost 20 years since we even last met, and she doesn't think of me as her daughter at all. And that she wasn't just gonna be a donor for some random girl who she doesn't know or care about. Then why don't you just get it from your dad? He is also your biological parent, so that should be fine as well, right? He was also against it. He said that he's busy with work and he doesn't have time to do any tests or have surgery. He also said that it's the mom's job to look after the kids in times like these, so that I needed to ask you instead of him. So you've been turned down by both your real parents. I can understand the point of view of your mom, since she really doesn't have anything to do with you at all. But really, Ben is a horrible guy, isn't he? Work should be no excuse for that. But please, Mom, I'm begging you now. I don't have anyone else I can turn to. I'll do anything you want me to, but please be the donor for me. I'm not gonna do anything like that. I'm not your real mom, and you told me yourself that I am just a useless woman who ruined your life. Why should I go and be a donor for you now? I'm really sorry that I said that at that time. It's thanks to you that I was able to get healthier and feel better, and then I turned on you and blamed you for my health. I know that I used my health as an excuse to get out of doing some things that I didn't want to do, and then made it out to be your fault later on. I'm so sorry that I did all of that. I really regret that I did all of that, but I realized that I was wrong to do it.
Listen here, Haley.
Please, I want to get married to my boyfriend, and I want to keep working at the job that I found. I want to be able to live a normal life that I was so close to getting. But I don't have much time now to salvage it, and I need your help. Please, don't abandon me now in my time of need. I'm really desperate here.
Well, you were the one who abandoned me first, weren't you?
I can sympathize with you for being sick and needing help, but I have no need or duty to help you out in this case. You're joking, right? You're really not going to help me now? Even though we've been together for so long and you raised me from when I was just a little girl? You always were the one who cared for my health more than anyone else. But now you're just going to forget about me and abandon me as I am? I hope you can find a donor to solve your problems soon. But bye now. There's nothing more for me to say.
Please, Vanessa, let's work together on it this time. I'm already at my limit looking after Haley.
What do you mean?
After what happened a few months ago, Haley just gave up on everything. She said that everything is over and doesn't care about herself at all. She started drinking and eating things that she shouldn't. And then, of course, before we knew it, her condition got worse. She's on dialysis and it's getting worse all the time.
Oh, so she's on it already?
Exactly. And I have to be the one to take her to the hospital and visit her and bring her back. Now I can't do anything like go to the shops or for lunch with friends or travel at all. And Haley is always in a bad mood and treats me badly now too. I can't live like this anymore. I just can't.
I don't want to hear such selfish complaining from you. You're her mom and it's your job to look after her. Just put up with it and do what you need to. Stay by her side and look after her however best you can.
I can't do it anymore on my own. So let's work together on this. We can take turns looking after her. I mean, you were also her stepmom for a long time too.
Are you kidding me?
Ben also agrees with this too. He said that he'll pay you whatever you want to come and help out with Haley. Doesn't that sound good for you as well? And I know that Haley will be happy with it. She's used to you looking after her and you know her better than anyone as well. Please, I really need your help. So you'll help me out with this, right?
Okay, sure. Then you can get $1 million ready for me, right?
What do you mean by that?
You said that Ben will pay me whatever I want to come and help out with Haley, right? Well, that's how much I want in exchange for looking after her. If you can't get that together, though, it'll be a no for me.
I don't need you to be messing around right now. I'm talking to you seriously here. Don't come up with stupid propositions like $1 million.
I'm also being serious with you right now. It's tiring both physically and mentally to look after a sick person, especially when they aren't very cooperative with you. I did it for free all this time, but that was because I was her mother and I loved her. But that ship has sailed, and it really is supposed to be your responsibility now. So, unless you can get me that kind of money, I'm not going to go along with what you say.
But $1 million is just too crazy for anyone to pay.
If it's for your daughter, you should be willing to do anything or pay anything for them, right? You can text me again once you have the money together and then we'll talk. If you can get $1 million together, then I'll look after her and do whatever else it is that you want me to do. After that, it goes without saying that they didn't prepare $1 million for me, and of course I didn't expect them to do that. There was a reason I named such an insane amount. But Haley continued with her treatment, and her relationship with Sally got worse and worse, and she was always in a bad mood, and Sally felt like her own life was falling apart. In the end, Haley had to leave her job because she'd been absent for such a long time, and now more or less stays inside unless she has to go to the hospital for treatment. Of course, she also had to tell her boyfriend what was going on, and she once again tried to blame things on me, saying that I refused to be a donor for her. I was actually contacted by her boyfriend Liam, and he asked me about it and why I wouldn't help my daughter out, and I explained the whole situation to him. In the end, he did leave her, but it wasn't because she was sick, but because of how she treated me while I was her stepmom and during the divorce, but still had the nerve to call me after 5 years and demand that I be a donor for her. I never wished anything bad to happen to Haley, but I'm no longer responsible for her, and it has nothing to do with me in general. She continues to blame me, even though there are at least 2 people in her life, Sally and Ben, who it would make more sense for them to be her donor than for me. I do still hope that she makes it through okay, but I will not get myself involved and let things work themselves out as they will.
Hey Amy, how's work going? What time was it that you were going to get home again? If I remember right, it was around 7, right?
Oh, sorry. I was wanting to get home early today, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to. By the look of how things are going, I don't see myself getting home until late.
Huh? Did something come up?
Yeah, there was some system trouble that kind of just came up out of nowhere.
Oh, really? Some system trouble? If there's some system trouble, then you're probably not going to be able to make it back until it's pretty late, huh?
You say pretty late, but honestly, looking at how bad the damage is, I'd be surprised if I can come back today at all.
Not being able to come back at all is crazy. Something that big came up?
Yeah, really big. This is something that needs to be fixed no matter what by tomorrow morning. The whole team is working on it right now, but really, when we'll be able to be finished is anyone's guess. Today of all days, the department head is out on vacation.
Wow, that really does sound pretty bad.
Sorry, did you have something you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I had something I wanted to talk to you about, but it seems like today wouldn't be the best day for it.
Something to talk about? Is it something that you can't do through text?
Well, it's not something that you can't do through text, but it's about money, so I thought it would be better to talk about it in person.
About money? Don't worry about it so much. Just go ahead and ask through text. I'm on a break right now, so just go ahead and let me know what's on your mind.
It's not really something that's easy to ask, but I was wondering if we could start giving my sister some type of an allowance?
An allowance for your sister? But why? Did something happen?
You remember how my sister got divorced last year and started raising her kid as a single mother, right?
Yeah, I remember that. She must have gone through a lot then, huh? Haven't seen her recently, but is she doing all right?
Well, about that, it seems that raising a kid all on your own was much more financially demanding than she had originally anticipated.
Oh no, really? If I'm remembering right, her kid was still in elementary school, huh? Having to raise a kid that young all on her own must be pretty hard on her.
Yeah, and because she was pushing herself so hard, her body just started to kind of break down. Recently, she's been getting really sick and was even sent to the hospital.
Are you serious? That's horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. For now, it seems like she's able to be released from the hospital. But she hasn't fully recovered. From what I hear, it seems like she's gonna have to live with it for a while.
Wow, I feel so bad for her.
I know, right? Because of all of this, she's actually gonna have to take a vacation from work just to recover. I mean, with all that's going on, it'll be difficult for her just to get through the week, right?
Yeah, I can see how difficult it might start to get for her, so that's why you wanted to start sending some money to her, right?
Exactly. I was thinking that I wanted to send about $1,000 a month until she gets back on her feet, but would that be all right?
1,000 a month? I don't know.
Ever since she's gotten sick, I can guarantee that she's been starting to get massive anxiety. Knowing her, she's probably starting to get scared about her and her kid's future, not knowing what to do next. As her little brother, I want to at least let her know that I'm there for her. If sending some money every month is going to make her feel some relief, I want to do it. Of course, this is not something that will go on forever. I was hoping just to send money until she's able to start working again.
All right, I see that you want to help your sister out. Let's do it. It's our responsibility to help out family when they're in trouble, right? We're both working anyway, so we have enough spare income that we can afford to send some for now.
Really? Oh, Amy, thank you so much. I owe you a big one.
No, don't worry about it. She's your sister, right? It's only right that I treat her like she's my sister, too. If sending some money is enough to make her feel a little more at ease, then that's something I want to do as well. I mean, if she's sitting there worrying about money all the time, her condition isn't going to get any better, right?
Once I let my sister know about sending her some money, I'm certain that she'll start to feel better. I'll let my sister know. Thanks again, Amy.
Great. Well, I guess I'll get back to work then. Work looks like it's going to take a while, so don't worry about waiting up for me. Go ahead and head to bed.
Gotcha. Good luck with the system trouble. Oh, some big trouble just came up. Apparently, my sister's condition took a turn for the worse.
What? Really? Was she hospitalized again?
It seems like this time she's going to be hospitalized for a whole week.
What about her kid? If she's in the hospital, there's going to be no one to watch over him. Is he going to be all alone?
Looks like she's going to have some nearby family look after him while she's away. Apparently, they were the ones who looked after him while she was in the hospital last time.
This is terrible. I wonder how your sister's condition could get worse again.
This is just what I'm thinking, but it's probably got worse because of how she's been eating.
You mean like you think that she's been eating a lot of bad food lately?
Rather than that, I don't think that she's been eating enough at all. I'm sure it's because she doesn't have enough money to buy anything. She's even been giving her own portions to her kid so that they could eat properly. Because of that, I think she's been eating too little for too long and it's all just caught up with her.
She's been having that much trouble keeping up with everything, even though we've been sending her some money every month?
Well, she does have a kid too, so sending only $1,000 a month is probably not enough to cover everything.
It feels bad knowing that what we've been sending wasn't enough to actually be a bigger help.
Hey, Amy, I have a big favor to ask. Can we start sending her some more?
Really? But if we start sending any more, we're also going to start to have some trouble. With things how they are now, we're just barely getting by.
We have money in our savings, don't we?
You want to use the money that we worked so hard saving?
But it's for my sister. If this continues, I'm scared that something even worse might happen. I mean, it's fine if it's only until she gets better. I just really want to start sending a bit more for her.
A bit more? How much were you thinking?
$1,000?
Wait. You want to send her a total of $2,000 per month? That's not a bit more, that's double. No, we can't do that. That's way too much.
Then $500, please. With that amount, then she would be able to actually eat 3 meals a day, right?
Seriously, Archer, even $1,500 is too much money for us to be sending every month. As it is right now, at $1,000 a month, we have to do so much to just stay out of the red. Do you mean to tell me that you want us to start doing even more in order to increase the amount of money that we're sending?
Come on, just try and bear with me. With my sister being as broke as she is, us worrying about these little things is nothing. It's to the point that I'm worried she even has enough to buy tomorrow's dinner.
What do you mean? I've been bearing it for a while now. There are many things that I have had to give up so we could send all that money to her. Are you going to always prioritize your sister over your own home?
Amy, please understand. Wasn't it you that said you should be treating her like she was your sister too? Please, think of her like you would your own sister, and let's help her out.
I didn't say that I wouldn't help her, But it's not like we have an unlimited amount of spare money to be sending people. Please remember that. Sending money to your sister every month like that isn't something that we can do forever.
I know that. Like I said before, it's only going to be until she gets better. I had no idea that you would be so against sending a little more money to my sister so that she could have enough money to properly eat. You are being awfully stingy here.
I'm not being stingy. Sending so much money that even we start having trouble paying bills isn't some joke. I mean, she's a single mother, right? Isn't there some type of stipend or something she can get from the government to help her out?
Why would I know anything about that?
Archer, before sending money to her every month, wouldn't it have been better to research a little more about what she could do to get more help?
Yeah, whatever. All this complaining that you're doing really just tells me one thing. You just don't want to send money to my desperate sister. Is that it? You don't actually care about how she could end up, do you? Is that it?
I didn't say not to send her money. That's not what I was trying to say at all. I'm just saying that I'd like you to stop prioritizing your sister to the point of hurting us.
It's not like I'm prioritizing my sister above everything else.
Yeah, you are.
When have I done that?
Last month, when my dad was celebrating his 60th birthday, I came to you hoping that we could send him a massage chair as a gift, but you were completely against it. You even said, if we're going to spend so much, then why not instead send that money to my sister who needs it?
Seriously, Amy? It's not like your parents are strapped for cash or anything. Instead of sending something as luxurious as a massage chair, why not instead send that much-needed money to my sister?
This and that are two completely different things. Why is it that you'll do whatever it takes for your family, but when it comes to my family, everything just gets put on the back burner? I mean, really, Archer, for all these months that we've been sending money to your sister, I haven't done anything that I've wanted.
All right, I get it. The massage chair. Whatever he wants, let's get it for him. But does that mean that we're going to be sending to my sister?
Yeah, but this is our limit, Archer. We don't have anywhere near enough money to afford sending her any more than this. There is bound to be some type of funding she can get. So please, get her to try and receive some relief from the government. Also, don't forget to let her know that us sending money isn't something that can continue forever.
Fine, I will. But you're really stingy, you know that?
Jennifer, you went on a vacation?
Oh, Amy, I haven't heard from you in forever. How are you doing? Yeah, I was on a nice 4-day spa trip till yesterday. Oh, there was so much delicious food I could barely contain myself. It was such a lovely trip. But how did you know that I went on a trip?
I saw your photos on Instagram.
Really? But until now, weren't you always against using social media? Have you finally decided to join in on the fun? How about you give me your info and I'll give you a follow?
I'm so disappointed in you.
Disappointed in me? Why is that?
All this time, your condition getting worse, being sick, that was all just one big lie, wasn't it? You've been deceiving me the whole time, haven't you?
Amy, I'm sorry, but you've lost me. I'm really not sure what you're talking about.
Don't play dumb with me. With what you've done, there is no way that I'll ever believe anything that you say ever again. Obviously, I'll never be sending you any money again either.
Sick? Money? Amy, what's going on? What are you talking about?
Are you still playing dumb with me?
Wait, Amy, I am being serious here. I have honestly no idea what you're talking about. Why are you so angry all of a sudden? I haven't been receiving any money.
What do you mean? I've heard all about it from Archer. How you started getting sick and that you're having a hard time just living day to day, which is why Archer was so adamant about sending you so much money.
Archer said what about me? Amy, I haven't been sick or anything like that. In fact, as you have already seen, I'm doing well enough that I'm able to go on vacation.
But Archer, he's been saying that after your divorce, you've been having trouble just having enough to eat. Because of that, he insisted that we start sending money to you in order to help with your financial troubles. I haven't had any money troubles of any sort since the divorce. The settlement money and the child care payments have been more than enough to get me by. Are you sure Archer isn't just getting confused about something? But Archer has been taking money out of our account every single month. I'm pretty sure that he's been sending you that money, right? Well, I don't know what to tell you, Amy. Archer hasn't sent me any money, let alone on a monthly basis. But if you're not getting any of the money, then where in the world is the money going? Maybe that little weasel was putting it all into his own wallet. It's way too suspicious that he painted me as being in such desperate need for money. What other reason could there be than to take it for himself? Then, you're saying that it was he who was the one that was tricking me? Oh, Jennifer, I'm so sorry to accuse you of all this. No, don't worry about that. If Archer has been tricking you all this time, then it is I who should be sorry. He's my brother after all. But putting that aside, what in the world was he thinking doing all of this? Maybe he was using it on something that he couldn't be direct with me about? I want to believe in him and think that it was just something that couldn't be helped. Yeah, I guess so. But even if it was something unavoidable, the way he's going about it is way too fishy. For now, let's find out the truth directly from Archer himself. Yeah, thinking about what he might have really been up to is scary, but I know that it's something that I have to do. I'll go and get him to tell me the truth about everything. Then I'll be by your side when you do. I'm going to start heading over to your place. You're going to come here? But what about work? I'm still on vacation from when I went on the spa trip. I mean, really, who wants to go straight back to work right after a trip, right? I think it'll take about an hour to get to your house from here. Wait for me and I'll be there soon. Archer, is right now a bad time? I've got something that I want to talk about.
My lunch break just started. What is it that you wanted to talk about? Something the matter?
You've been lying to me the whole time, haven't you?
What is this all of a sudden?
All of what you said about your sister being sick and needing money, it was all a lie, wasn't it? I've been looking at her Instagram and other socials. She was even on a spa trip until yesterday.
What are you talking about? Jennifer went on a trip?
How is it that someone who is so strapped for cash that she can't even afford to eat right could even think about going on a vacation?
Wait, Amy, aren't you like completely against using social media? How do you know what Jennifer has been doing? You kept on saying that having all that personal information out there in the open and being public was something that was too scary for you.
It's true that I'm usually against social media and things like that, but this is something that I heard from someone at my work. All that stuff about personal information being out in the open, I obviously know that it's fine if you're careful about it, but that's not what I want to talk about. The money that you've been taking out of our bank account every month. Hurry up and spill it. Where have you been putting it?
What do you mean? I've been sending it to Jennifer the whole time. The vacation or whatever you're talking about, that is something that I'll have to check with her directly. Seriously though, going on vacation like that even though she has been desperate for money? If she really did that, she has got some explaining to do.
You say that, but your sister said she hasn't been sent a single cent from you.
You already talked to her?
Exactly. Which is why playing dumb isn't going to work. I already know that you've been telling me lies this whole time. What have you been doing with the money? Hurry up and tell me the truth.
Oh well. Looks like you finally found out. Too bad, I was really hoping to keep you in the dark for a little bit longer.
I knew it. You've been tricking me this whole time? Why is it that you would do something like this?
I just wanted some money to play around with, but it's not like I can be straightforward with something like this to you now, can I? It's not like you would let me do what I wanted to do anyway, which is why I told a little white lie, so that things would be easier.
Really? You lied to me so that you could get some playing around money? Really, Archer, what did you use all that money for?
Bars, clubs, casinos, etc. You know, stuff like that.
You've been taking money for such a disgusting reason as that? What is wrong with you?
Oh, come on, Amy. I need some way to de-stress. Work has been so busy lately, so I've been building up quite a lot of stress. I just needed a breather.
It's really horrible of you to trick me and take all that money just so that you could spend it all on yourself like that. Not even that. The amount of money that you've been taking out every month wasn't small. You've been wasting all that money?
Seriously, Amy? It's only $1,000, not something to get so worked up about.
What are you talking about? Just recently you were asking to increase the amount by another $1,000. I even allowed you to take out another $500. But even then, Archer, $1,000 a month is already a huge amount.
Oh, calm down, Amy. I won't do it again, all right? But if you're gonna get all upset about it, why don't you use some money for yourself next time? Then we'll be even, right?
Archer, what are you even talking about? No apologies, no nothing. You don't even sound like you care at all about the things you've been doing. I mean, really, making it look like your sister was sick and was desperate for money? When I found out she was on vacation, I was seriously at my wit's end with her because of you.
If you're talking about my sister, then I didn't tell any lies. Since the divorce, she has really been more poor than she was before, right?
You said that I was so desperate for money that I needed to get some money from you. Could you please not make me out to be someone who is near destitute? I mean, really, the fact that I had a little brother this obnoxious. I just can't understand it. Are you seriously going to start making excuses before you've even admitted what you've done wrong?
Huh? Who is this? Jennifer?
Yes, this is your desperately in need of money sister. You've really been an awful little snake to your own wife, haven't you?
What are you doing there?
I heard from Amy all about your awful little scheme. Hearing all of this, I just had to come by to apologize for having such a horrible person as a brother. Archer, you slimy weasel, what the hell are you doing?
You wouldn't call your own brother a slimy weasel, would you?
It's true, isn't it? You've been walking all over Amy's good intentions this whole time. You're worse than a weasel. You're just pure trash. It's embarrassing just knowing that you share the same blood as me.
Hey, this is a problem between a husband and a wife. Why are you butting into this?
You've been using me as an excuse to take out so much money. What do you mean, why am I butting into this? Seriously, I already told Dad about all the awful things that you've been doing to Amy. He was so shocked to hear about all the things you've been doing.
You let Dad know? What are you doing telling him something like this?
I feel horrible for Amy to have married such a lowlife like you. I'm going to have her move forward with a divorce.
Divorce? Stop doing all of these things when they aren't your concern. Seriously, this has nothing to do with you.
This is Amy. Though Jennifer is the one who suggested a divorce, I'm choosing to go forward with it.
Amy, wait. This isn't something to get divorced over, right? This is just a little misunderstanding between a husband and a wife, right? Oh, come on.
A little misunderstanding? Archer, seriously, what you've done is unforgivable. Moreover, this isn't a misunderstanding. This is a complete betrayal. There's no way that I can continue to be with someone who does this. I'm already planning on how and when to file for the divorce.
Why are you getting so angry over something as small as this? I mean, come on, Amy, I'll stop. I won't waste any more money.
You have some nerve calling this something small. I can't believe you. Won't waste any more money? Of course you won't, because you'll be getting money by whatever means possible to pay me back for everything you stole from that account. We're over, Archer. I'm divorcing you.
Amy, wait, please. I promise that I won't waste any more money. Amy, I swear it. Please, don't go through with the divorce.
You still don't get it, do you? It's not about wasting all that money. It's about what you've been doing and how you've been treating me. Seriously, Archer, I still remember how you were calling me stingy for not giving in right away when you wanted to steal more money. Someone who is willing to say something like that, all the while making me sacrifice my livelihood? There's no way I can be with someone like that.
Amy, just calm down. Why would I do anything to sacrifice your livelihood? I didn't mean to do anything like that.
You knew that I was saving money wherever I could, just in order to get that money ready every single month. You knew exactly what I was doing, and yet you continued to steal it every month and go blow it on clubs and casinos. I think I've sacrificed more than enough to justify a divorce.
Amy, I'm really sorry for doing that to you. I will never do anything like this ever again, I swear it.
Then don't do it again to whoever it is you're with next, because I, for one, cannot live with someone like you. Since I'm such a stingy wife, I can't afford to be with someone who wastes so much money. With that, my time of being a married woman had come to a close. After the events that unfolded with thanks to my then sister-in-law leading the way, his family had reprimanded him to no end. With their help, I was also put in an advantageous situation in the divorce proceedings. I was able to keep pretty much all of our shared accounts, as well as receive an extra settlement for the damages that he caused. Not just that, but his family had also forced him to take out a loan in order to pay back all of the money that he had stolen from me. It seems that Jennifer was the one who dragged him to the bank to make sure he got the loan to pay everything back. How is it that I ended up marrying such a lowlife of a man? After the divorce, it seems that Archer's family had started to cut ties and distance themselves from him. With everything finally catching up to him, I doubt he'll be able to live that same frivolous lifestyle that he so enjoyed. With what he did and how he treated me, he deserves whatever is coming to him. With the money that I received from the divorce, I was able to go and move into a new home. With all of the money that Archer stole being returned to me, I'm able to get by with quite a bit to spare. With how I was having to save money for so long, just having the freedom of being able to spend my own money is something that I'm really thankful for. I'm not going to do anything as extravagant as what my ex-husband did, but I think I too am going to use some of that money to refresh myself.
Hey Mel, it's Clara. I know it's been a really long time, but listen to this. I just got divorced a little while ago. Can you believe it?
Wait, what?
I know, right? And because of that, I have no money at all to my name, and I got kicked out of the house as well. It's seriously the worst. I have nothing. Nothing. So I know it's a little much to ask, but can you come and pick me up from New York or send me some money? I literally can't even make it back home because I have no money.
Just wait a second. Is this really Clara? Where is this all coming from all of a sudden?
What's up with that reaction? Yeah, it is me. I know it's been a while, but still, I didn't expect you to react to me like that.
I can't believe you even have the nerve to message me at all. And you want me to go and pick you up? Are you seriously planning on trying to come back home?
Well, yeah, I got divorced from Kevin. And now since he's kicked me out of the house, I have nowhere to go but stay with Mom and Dad for a while until I at least get back on my feet.
You have nowhere else to go. Do you even remember what you did to me all that time ago? You had an affair with my fiancé and eloped with him. Do you really think there is a place here for you to come back to?
Are you still upset about that even now? Come on, that was like 10 years ago. It's been so long that I was sure you would have forgiven me for it already.
Did you actually think that?
Yeah, and now that Kevin and I are divorced anyway, it's all over, and what happened 10 years ago doesn't matter anymore. Let's just treat it all as water under the bridge. Now, come and get me from here. I seriously have no cash and nowhere to go either. I'm in a real bind.
I don't know what your situation is, and I don't care. From the very day I found out about what you did, I decided to not have anything to do with you for the rest of my life. Do me a favor and never contact me again.
What are you even talking about? It's me. Your sister? Your sister is in trouble and you won't even come to help me out? That's what older sisters are supposed to do, isn't it?
You have no right to expect any help from me after what you did.
It's your own fault for letting Kevin get away from you in the first place. Maybe if you paid him more attention, things would have worked out differently. And to keep holding a grudge against me for over 10 years too? Just get over it already. If you liked Kevin that much, then you should have just moved with him to New York in the first place and gotten married.
What did you say?
I said that if you were that into him, you should have gone with him when he needed to move to New York for a job. Then everything would have worked out for you and you wouldn't have had to stay living out there in the sticks. He asked you to come with him, but you refused to go. What did you expect to happen? That's why he moved on to me instead of you in the first place. But now here we are, even 10 years later, and you're still mad over this? Just grow up already, will you?
Shut up. Don't start with your lame excuses. That was right when Dad got sick and ended up in hospital, remember? How could I have just left him when he needed support from us and went off to New York? Mom was also not feeling great and she wouldn't have been able to look after him on her own. I couldn't just leave the two of them like that.
God, you really have always been far too serious. No wonder you got dropped by Kevin so quickly. You're no fun at all.
Yeah, but it seems like he made a mistake in dropping me for you in the end, right?
What?
I heard that you two got married eventually, but then got divorced seemingly out of nowhere. What happened? And here I was hoping that you would be happy even after what you did to me.
Married life came with a bunch of challenges that I didn't expect at all. But someone like you who hasn't been married wouldn't understand what I mean by that.
Oh, really? Is that what you think?
Anyway, let's forget this already, but I really do need you to come get me. I have so many difficulties being married to Kevin and had to put up with a lot. I just want to go home and relax for a little while. It's been ages since I've been home as well.
You can say that all you want, but there really is nowhere for you to come back to right now. If you don't have money, then go out and get a job, and then you can find your own place to rent as well. And just like that, your two biggest problems have been solved.
I don't need sarcastic remarks like that. Neither of those two things are easy or immediate. They both take time and I don't have the time for them. Just come get me or send me money so I can get there myself. I'll send you where you can pick me up from easiest. I'll be waiting for you.
Hey, Mel. I'm really sorry about what happened between us 10 years ago. I know that we'd already decided to get married, but then things went south. Is that what you want to call it? Going south? Okay, well, I ran away with your sister to New York at the same time as I was moving there for my new job. Yeah, whatever. I didn't expect to be hearing from you today as well. Is it some special kind of day for me or something? Where people from my past all decide to start reappearing? From you saying that, Clara must have contacted you already, right? Did you hear about the two of us getting a divorce then? Yeah, she contacted me and told me about it about 2 hours ago. You got divorced and you even kicked her out of the house, and now she's in some trouble, I guess. Even though this is how it ended up, I really did do my best to keep it together and not split with her. I betrayed a lot of people to end up with Clara, so I really wanted to make sure that the marriage at least lasted. But so much happened between the two of us that I was at my limit, and in the end I just couldn't really take it anymore. All I could think about was you from day to day, and it really caused a rift between Clara and me. What? You were thinking about me? I mean, when we first arrived in New York, it was great. We just gotten married and we were together in a brand new place where everything was new and exciting. I really thought that I'd be happy like that. But then while I went to work, all Clara would do is go out around town and spend my money without doing anything for me at all. Once, even when I could barely work from stress and had to take time off, she didn't even spend a single day with me. And of course, she never helped at all around the house. But that much goes without saying, really. Yeah. Well, you should have been able to guess that she'd be like that from how she was back at home. She never worked at a stable job and spent all her time doing whatever she wanted to.
When Mom and Dad were getting sick, she pushed all of their care onto me and couldn't care less about what happened to them. You knew all of that, but you still chose her instead of me and threw me by the wayside the first chance you got.
She was a good woman to date, but a horrible woman to be married to, I guess. That's what I realized after a little while in New York, and I started to think about you a lot. Like when something bad happened, I just knew that if you were with me, you'd make me feel better with kind words. Or just support me when things were getting tough at work. You know, that sort of thing. I was thinking about you the whole time these past 10 years.
That's funny, but I never thought about you, even once the entire time.
Listen, Mel, I can understand that you wouldn't want to forgive me for what I did. I really do. But what do you say about giving me just one more chance? I really want to try to make things work with you again. Just one more time. A lot of time has passed since we were together, but I know that we could still do it.
What? Are you serious right now?
Of course I'm being serious. I'm divorced now and I lost the job that I had, so I don't see the point in being in New York anymore. I've been thinking of moving back home now to get away from the big city and the bad memories I have there. And then the two of us can get back together.
Hold on a second here. Why did you lose your job as well? What happened?
The company went through a bunch of layoffs and I got cut in the process.
So now you're completely unemployed?
Yeah, exactly, and that was the main reason for the divorce. Like I said, I was the one who was trying to keep it going, but without this job I wasn't able to make enough for Clara to keep living her ideal lavish lifestyle. So now I want to move back home with what money I have, but I can't get a hold of anyone at all. But how is it back there? Is everyone still as mad as you are about what happened back then?
Of course they are. Everyone in the town knew about our engagement and were appalled when you ran off with my little sister. No one in town wants to see you back here again. You should know what it's like here. It's not like New York where you can just lose yourself among strangers. Everyone knows everyone in their business.
I thought that might be the case, but that's also why I wanted to fix things up between us. If you were to forgive me, then everybody else would probably decide to forgive me for it as well, right? What do you think?
I think that you should stop with all this nonsense already. I'm not about to just go along with your calculated plans and let you just sweep back into town like nothing happened. And even if I were to forgive you, your parents said themselves that they never want to see you. Your mom told me recently that she never wants to see your face again.
What? You talked to her recently? Does that mean that they're still close by somewhere? In that case, forget about what I said about the two of us making amends. But in exchange, can you tell me my parents' phone number and address?
What?
I mean, I know that the whole town got essentially relocated due to redevelopment, right? I haven't been able to get in contact with either my parents or my siblings since then. I never expected that you would still be in contact with everyone. Does that mean that a bunch of people moved together to a new place or something? Can you tell me their address at the very least? Well?
Oh wow, you heard about the relocation then. It seemed like Clara hadn't heard anything about it at all.
Of course she wouldn't know a thing about that. She was out so often that she was never even home to sit down and watch anything on TV, let alone listen to the news.
Oh, I see. I can picture that. In any case, let me tell you the last message that I got from your parents. They said make sure not to tell that idiot boy either our numbers or our address. We never want to have to see his face again. That's what they said about you.
You're joking.
I absolutely am not joking. No one wants you back, so good luck finding a new job. Sounds like you'll need it. Mel, what's going on? How long do you plan on making me wait? I've been waiting for you to come and get me already. It's been a week now since I asked you first. I'm gonna run out of money to survive if you don't hurry up. Do you have any idea how expensive New York is? No one is coming to get you or sending you money. Not me, not Mom and Dad either. Just stay there and look for a job to support yourself. Why are you being so cold to me? I'm in trouble and I need your help. Sure, I stole your fiancé away from you, but that was it. You're being so unfair right now. As always, you haven't reflected on your actions at all, have you? I guess some things never change. We were all so embarrassed when things first went down 10 years ago.
Everyone in town knew about what happened. It was hard to even show my face in public after that.
Yeah, but that was over 10 years ago at this point. It's annoying that you're still mad about that even now. And I told you that you were the one in the wrong for ever letting it happen to you in the first place. Now I'm in a bad situation as well, so let's call this karma getting me back and call it a day. We both went through something because of Kevin, so let's call it even and forgive each other.
Cut the crap. This isn't the same at all. I lost my fiancé because he was having an affair. And then I had to find out that he was cheating on me with my own sister. Just how much pain do you think you put me through? You can't even begin to imagine how I felt. Don't just ask me to forgive you like it's so easy to do. This isn't something that I can just brush off because some time has passed.
God, you're so stubborn. I hate this about you. But fine. If you're so set on not forgiving me, you can forget about it. I don't care anymore. I'll just find a way to get back home on my own. You shouldn't have a problem with that, right? Now you don't even have to come get me. I'll use what money I have left to make it on my own. Then I can apologize to you in person and we can be done with this ridiculous 10-year grudge that you have against me. You, me, Mom, and Dad, we can all make up and go back to being a happy family like we used to be.
That's your plan.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Look, you can say that you'll come home on your own however many times you like, but you don't even know our address.
What are you talking about? I might not have been home for 10 years, but I'm not exactly going to forget the house where I lived and grew up for most of my life. There's nothing for me here in New York anymore, so I'll be coming home after all this time.
The house you're thinking about doesn't exist anymore.
What? What does that mean?
It means that you have nowhere to go back to anymore. Or do you plan on using the last of your money to get a quick look around some factories?
What are you talking about? Seriously? What factories? What does that mean?
By that reaction, I guess you really don't know anything.
No, I don't. I don't know anything. No one told me anything at all. What do you mean about factories? What happened to our house? Are you being serious when you said it's gone?
It's not just the house, but basically the entire town is no more. It was redeveloped for some factories and pipelines and nothing is left.
What? You mean the school I went to and all of my friends' old places are gone too? Everyone is gone?
Yeah, that's right. It was all over the news for a while. I'm surprised that you don't know anything about it since you were directly involved in a way. It might be something that people who weren't from our town would ignore, but you should have paid attention more.
I don't believe this! How could this happen? Then where am I supposed to go? I have nowhere else. Where are you and Mom and Dad then? If everything is gone, that means that all of you must have moved somewhere else, right? Where did you go?
Oh, I wonder about that. Where on earth did we go after that? Well, you won't hear it from me, so good luck finding out where we live now.
What? You're telling me you're not gonna tell me? But I'm your sister. We're family.
But we cut ties with you all those years ago. We might be related by blood, but there's no one who thinks of you as family anymore.
You can't be serious!
Of course I am. And since you're not family, why would we tell you anything about our personal lives or personal information like an address? Anyway, that's how it is. So best of luck. Mel, come on. Please tell me my parents' address. Where did they move off to? You have to tell me. I know that you guys must have built a hell of a property somewhere. Tell me where that is. What? What makes you think that anyone built anything? You wouldn't tell me anything about where anyone went, so I was trying to find out for myself. Then I found an article on the internet that told me something interesting. It said that the people who needed to move away from the town were compensated for having to leave their homes. Not just a little, but with a lot of money. It said that there were people who received upwards of $500,000 and used the money to build themselves a new house elsewhere. $500,000? Come on, do you think the government would really give anyone that much money? Maybe it wasn't quite that much, but it had to have been a sum close to that, right? You got money for the move, and you used it to build yourself a nice new home, right? All of you. Well, we did get enough to build something new. I mean, most of us in town had been living in pretty old houses and they were in need of repairs and renovation anyway. So I guess compared to those, you could say the houses we built or bought are pretty nice.
You're so cunning doing that. You stay in town and then get a bunch of money from the government to move somewhere else, build a new house, and start a new life. If you got that lucky, then you should at least be able to forgive me for what happened between us.
What the hell does that mean? What does it have to do with anything?
You guys all got so lucky and got a bunch of money. You must still have some left over as well, right? But here, I have nothing. So don't you think it's okay to at least forgive me for the past? I'm now divorced and have no job. So just forgive me already and tell me where everyone went.
You're getting things a little mixed up, I think. You losing your job and getting a divorce has nothing to do with the money that we received. Those are two very different things. And there's no weight on whether I forgive you or not.
Please, Mel, I'm begging you at this point. Just tell me where my parents are now. I'm about to run out of my savings, living here without a job, and I need to find another place to stay fast. I'll apologize as much as you like. I'll do whatever you want me to do. But just tell me where they live now, please.
If you're gonna go that far, then sure, I can tell you where they live. But are you sure you're not gonna regret finding them?
Why would I regret doing that?
When we had to move, you might expect that everyone got separated and went their own way, but that wasn't really the case. Everyone had lived together for so long that a bunch of us actually moved to the same area to restart our lives.
What? So you mean it's not just your family and mine that are still nearby? It's everyone else from town as well?
I wouldn't say everyone else. Of course, some people went off to God knows where, but quite a few people, yeah. Do you think that people want you to come back? Do you think that you could just come back after being gone for 10 years and people would act as though nothing happened?
They surely can't be that mad at me for something that had nothing to do with them.
It's not just that they think you're an idiot for that. I also heard that before you left, you borrowed money from quite a lot of people to help you with the move to New York, and you promised that you'd pay them back once you got settled in your new job there. Well, they believed you and wanted to help you with the move to start your new life, and then you didn't send them a single cent back, did you?
Oh God, I thought that everyone would have forgotten about that. But it's not like they can force me to pay them back now after all this time, and there was no real contract between us or anything.
The contract between you was one called trust, and you ruined that with everyone, so I don't know how it'll be for you coming back here. Don't expect anyone to want to deal with you or help you find a job or anything else.
Damn it! I thought that everyone would have separated in the move. Why on earth would everyone stick together? They could have gone anywhere in this country and just reformed the town somewhere else.
People got used to their lives and weren't able to just set off to another state or big city at their ages. You know that most people don't like change. And if you're so worried about the money, then get a job and get enough to pay them back before you come back. It might be 10 years late, but it's better late than never, right? This isn't fair, Mel. You always do this. You always do things so they work out for you. If I'd known that the town was going to be leveled, then I wouldn't have even married Kevin in the first place. What are you angry about all of a sudden? That attitude of yours has annoyed me so much even in the past. You always make it so that I get the short straw. It's so annoying when you do this. I bet you knew that you were going to get money from the relocation, so you pushed Kevin onto me so I would leave and you would get more to yourself. Are you serious right now?
And then you made yourself look like the victim in the eyes of Mom and Dad, so they'd shun me and just you guys would get the money. You pushed me onto Kevin for all of that. You are horrible. I guess that explains why you never tried to get back at me for stealing Kevin from you. It was your plan from the very start.
You really need to calm down for a second. You're letting your imagination run a little wild. There is no way that I had a plan like that. That's the craziest thing I have ever heard in my life.
No, don't tell me those lies. I know that you planned it all. You were always like that, even when we were kids.
What are you on about?
You always made it seem like I got the good deal in something, but in the end, you were always the one to come out on top. It's always been like that, always.
Don't blame me for that. You always just see the pros in something and rush headfirst into it without thinking anything through properly. That's how you've always been, and it has nothing to do with me.
Then why didn't you tell me about the plan to relocate or that you were going to receive so much money from the government? 500,000? You got that much and not a word to your own sister?
I see you've also been reading the information on the internet, huh? I'm telling you that we didn't get anywhere near that much. We got just enough to move and build a place of our own with a tiny amount left over. And it doesn't cost that much to build a place out in the countryside either. You shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet.
You're not going to fool me with lies like that. You kept it from me so that I wouldn't get any cut of the money.
Listen to me, it wasn't like that.
I was also part of the family who grew up in the house that got torn down. Where's my compensation for that? Well, where is it? I also have the right to get money from the government for that.
Then why not go to the government and try to make your case with them?
They're not gonna listen to me.
Obviously not. This has all been finished. This is from a long time ago already. If you want me to get over what happened 10 years ago, then you need to get over this as well. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and acting as though you got the short straw by moving to and living in New York for 10 years. If it was so bad, then you wouldn't have stayed there for so long.
I thought it was good, but there's no point being here if you don't have the money to enjoy it.
Well, you should have thought about that before you left then. But of course you didn't. As always, you just saw something good in front of your eyes and went for it. And you did that even though it involved you stealing your sister's fiancé and marrying him. And now that you've gotten divorced and want to come home, you act as though you're the victim? Grow up and get over it. This is all your fault to begin with. You made your bed, now lie in it. You're not getting anything from me or our parents. We aren't gonna look out for you now.
What, so now you're gonna make fun of me for making some mistakes in the past? I was young back then and not thinking of the future. But who does when they're 20? Everyone makes mistakes, and you don't need to blame me for them.
Then if that's what you want, don't contact me again. That way I won't treat you like the idiot that you are.
But I still need your help. You can't leave me like this.
I can, and I will. What you need to do right now is turn off that phone of yours and go out and look for a job. You might have lived off of Kevin for the past 10 years, but it's time you learned a little about real life. You're not a kid anymore. You're an adult, so act like one. And never, ever message me again. After that, I didn't hear from Clara or Kevin again. They must have both finally realized that it didn't matter how much they asked. I wouldn't tell them what they wanted to know. Apparently, afterwards, they both went to the site of the old town to try and figure out something about where people might have moved to. And then they met again without expecting it, since they each came on their own. Then, in a real twist of fate, they both realized that they no longer have anyone to rely on but each other, and decided to get back together and try to make it in New York. They moved back and tried to get jobs, but only succeeded in securing some part-time ones. Without the money from Kevin's old job, they could no longer live the life they previously had, and now live a very, very different type of life. Instead of going out on the town and spending money, they have to stay at home and pray that they make rent each month. It's a hard life for them, but maybe now they'll begin to realize the importance of thinking of the future, and also what other people have to go through every day. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to see more content.